Hello, everyone. We are live. Welcome to A Bookish Moment. Today, you are with me, Sarah Burr. Poor JC is feeling under the weather, so we're sending him many good thoughts. And I think that my computer system is also under the weather because our introduction played the wrong person that we're celebrating today. We are joined by a very dear friend of A Bookish Moment, the fabulous Nan Reinhardt. And it's the perfect time for Nan to be here because we're talking love, we're talking Valentine's Day, we're talking romance, and we finally get to talk about Annabelle Walker's love story, which, oh my God, I don't know, Nan, how you do it every single time. These meet cutes that you have just get more better. They just get better and better and better. I can't wait to dive in. We've got our folks in the chat chiming in. Mizan saying hello from snowy Maryland. DHB saying good afternoon. And Mizan, I will pass along your well wishes to JC. We had some snow here in, I almost said Maine, which I don't live in Maine anymore. I used to, but we had some snow in Long Island this past weekend, although right now it's turned to crunchy like ice and is very lethal outside. So hopefully the snow in your area, Mizan, is much nicer and that you're enjoying it. Nan, welcome back to the show. It's always great to talk with you. And I'm just so excited that we have finally reached to this chapter that I have been waiting for since I really met Annabelle, because she's always just been such a standout supporting character for me in River's Edge. So to see her love story unfold, it was just so good. So thank you for being here.
Oh, thanks for having me, Sarah. And JC, if you're listening, I hope you feel better. We miss you. I had a really good time writing Annabelle's story. I really wasn't sure where to go with her, but for some reason, the little dog just kind of came and popped into my head. And I thought, well, there's a fun place to start. So that's where we started.
I have to ask, was Sawyer always going to be a vet then? Or did that just like happen and it made sense that like, oh, like this poor little dog is hurt and who happens to come along but this strapping, studious looking vet who's new into town?
Sawyer was always going to be a vet.
Okay.
Because I thought John Price needed some help.
Mm-hmm.
He was all alone in that vet practice, and he was doing large and small animals both. And I just thought, oh, he could use an associate. So he was always going to be a vet, but I really hadn't. I had thought there would be an animal involved between her and Sawyer. I didn't realize Anna felt as strongly as she did about not having a pet, but apparently she did. And I will give a little shout out to a friend of mine, Melanie, who raises papillons, and her little papillons are so incredibly cute. Bear in mind, this comes from a person who's about as much of a dog person as Annabelle. But
oh my goodness.
Papillons are so darling. And so I thought, well, let's make the little dog a pap. It would be a lot of fun. And plus I could quiz Melanie if I wanted some information about the dogs, which I did, obviously. So anyway.
I have to say that, I said I'm always been a fan of Anna's. When she was kind of going off about not wanting a dog, I was like, Anna, are we going to be feuding? Because she really does not want a pet. And before we really kind of dive into maybe why that is and kind of where Annabelle is in her life, I do want to say hello to Liz, who is say hello from the cornfields, and also sending JC well wishes. Liz, I'm glad that you're here today. And I'm also glad that you have Wi-Fi out in the cornfields. And Farmhouse Reader saying hello. Happy Tuesday from Sawdust. Hi, Sarah. Thank you, Liz. Nan, for Annabelle's story, she is the final four of the Walker four that we have been focusing on.
Yes.
She has been kind of in the background or beside the different folks that have been going through their various love stories within River's Edge, for folks who may have missed your previous visits to the show, maybe learning about River's Edge for the first time, can you just kind of quickly give us a little bit of an overview of the walkers and how kind of they fit into the community, and maybe Anna's role in the community as well? Because she's got a lot going on professionally within River's Edge.
She does. The Walker family is the family in town that has the construction company. And so they do a lot of the building in town. And we met the very first Walker back in my sister series, the Weaver sisters, because
Weavers,
the very
yes.
first book, the first Weaver sister fell in love with Eli Walker. And then Cameron and Joe, and although he was Joey for a long time, I changed him to Joe because I felt like he needed to mature a little bit. And Jack, who was just kind of a, I don't know, kind of a rounder, but he fell in love like that, and that was it for him. And then Annabelle is Joe and Cameron's sister. Jack and Eli are brothers, so there's cousins and brothers all together working in this construction company. Anna also teaches a class at the Boys and Girls Club doing phone photography, and that's what she was out in the field when she found the dog. She was taking pictures with her phone to show to her class, and she is just a vibrant, exciting woman. She's really not looking for a relationship because she's been in one for like a long time, and it was on again and off again and on again and off again, and the last time it was on again, she got really badly hurt, and so she was just like, I'm done, I'm not doing this again. And then along comes this hot little veterinarian, and what are you going to do, you know?
What are you going to do? I will have to give Sawyer major props, because he just like goes and I think a lot of your male leads have this strength of like, they're not really playing games too much. Like they're pretty direct with how they feel. And it's one thing that I really appreciated about Sawyer. Like, he meets Anna, he likes her, he wants to at least become friends with her, if not more. And, you know, he is very forthcoming with this information to her. So Anna's not really left guessing about where she stands with him. But it's all really how, like, you know, she doesn't want to date somebody, and he's obviously looking for a deeper connection. Can you share a little bit about Sawyer's backstory and what has brought him into River's Edge? Because he is the one who ends up landing at Mac's apartment this time.
That's the above the garage apartment that almost everyone has lived in at one time or another. He's come to River's Edge because he's left his teaching position at Purdue Vet School because he just wasn't feeling the teaching, and he comes from a family of really high academic achievers, and although he's quite accomplished himself, he's never quite felt like he was as, I don't know what I want to say. I don't want to say as good, because that's not the word I mean. And none of his family makes him feel like he's not as good, but he's just not into the academia the way they are. Let's put it that way. And he wants to be with the animals. He wants to work with animals. And someone let him know that John was looking for an assistant or another vet to be in the practice. And so he interviewed and got the job, and he just picked up his life and moved it from West Lafayette to River's Edge. And so now he's starting all over. And I think he does a really good job of settling into the town. I didn't want to make him feel, I wanted to make him feel as welcome as possible. Because I think he needed to be that much of a part of the town to be that much a part of it.
Yeah. And I think that totally, like, I felt like, wow, this guy like really fits in, because the scene when they first go for pizza together, and we run into Sam Flaherty and her daughter Allie, and the way that he just like chameleons his way into this conversation, talking with Allie about her pets, and just like really, I was like, wow, like like if I was in that situation, I'd be like, nice to meet you. Like, and wait for them to finish. But he just like really goes all in. And like part of me, I was like, wow, like it's a good thing that he's a vet, because like that's what you have to do. Like you have to really like warm up to people quickly and reassure them and make them feel comfortable, because you're treating, you know, not only a precious thing to them, but it's a precious thing that can't speak for itself. So like you really have to like jump through a lot of hurdles to become trustworthy. And so I thought that was really, really well. And it was just like, like I'm already sold on this guy. And he's a real, he's a sincere charmer. Like his charm isn't fake or feel forced. It's just like, he's a genuinely nice person.
He is. I really, of all my heroes, he's right up there at the top with my favorite. That and Becker, who's the old grump, but I still love him. So.
We have Mizan saying, I wish that he could help out at her cat's vet. Her vet's a one-woman show, which is a lot to deal with. Wow. And
no kidding.
And I'm thinking of how much this story, like, not only being back in River's Edge, but like I love animals and I love dogs. And I was just like, this is giving me All Creatures Great and Small vibes, like in modern day.
My all-time favorite shows. We are actually binging that right now.
I love that show so much. And it just like, I just saw like this like really nice overlap of like, oh, this is like a modern day set in America and all of this fun stuff. So it was just like a really effortless read for me. And like, just,
so glad.
Like it was, again, like we always talk about River's Edge and like how it's like, visiting with old friends and going home again, because we're so familiar with the places that we get to visit with. But there was something just really special about this one. And I think it was the animals, because there's just something about animals that's so sweet and so innocent. But to know that you are not a fan of dogs, how did you write so convincingly about these like such cute little critters of it all?
I see Melanie's all the time when I'm with Melanie. She's got 4 or 5 of them, and they are adorable. They're really cute little animals as long as they're hers. And we have 2 grand dogs who are precious, sweet critters, and I watch how my kids are with their animals and how Mel is with her papillons. And I think writers as a breed, and any of writers who are here will know that we absorb a lot of what's around us, and I can watch my kids with their dogs and know how to love on a dog. Now I might not love on a dog myself, but I can certainly write about it. And so I think that it comes from that. And the neighborhood that we live in, I swear everybody has a dog but me. And so that's not really true. I know some other people who don't, but people are always walking their dogs, and so you really get a real sense of that relationship between dogs and humans. And because I'm a writer, and because I make my living by observing other things and other people and how they behave, I just think it You did it very, very well. And it was funny, but you also captured kind of, disdain is a little bit of a harsh word, but, it's not disdain. It's more like, it's just not my cup of tea.
Yes. And the scene where, Anna is, being told like, oh, take Trixie out in the back. And like, if she goes to the bathroom, like pick it up and there's the bags. I like very much remember before we got our dog Evie, I was like, there's no way that I could do that. Like, it just seems so disgusting. And like, I couldn't do it without like gag reflexes coming in. And then lo and behold, like once you have this dog in your life, you're like, huh? It's something that clicks. Like once you have a dog that's yours, I think there's like a weird thing that happens, because I have definitely had experiences where I like see dogs out in the world. And I'm like, I don't want to deal with that dog. Like that person, that's a problem of their own. So it was
And
funny seeing like different aspects of like my journey to pet ownership in Anna, because like I definitely felt that way about picking up
one of my
after
favorite
dogs.
scenes to write was when she's very first in the vet's office, first day
Hmm.
with the dog, and they brought the dog in and cleaned it up, and they're giving it a bath, and she's got it on her lap, and she's drying it, and the dog peed on
Yes. Yes.
it. And I was like, what would be the worst thing that could happen to her right now that would make her say even more strongly, no, I don't want a dog, and I'm not
Hmm.
let it pee. And so it did. And that was just a fun scene to write because I knew what my reaction to that would be. It'd be like, ugh, you know, and
But
kind of a little outraged. And she was a little outraged.
she was, but she was also, and this shows her character because the dog was also like in distress with her back leg, and Sawyer's like, you can't like be moving her around, like that's gonna like hurt her. So like she was also like, I thought she handled it very gracefully. Gosh, I just remember one of the first times that we had taken Evie to get groomed, and we brought her back, and we're like, oh, like look how cute she is, and we're like, you know, like we were basically teasing her about something, and she just like looked up at us and peed on our carpet, and I was like, oh, I guess we can't tease this dog because this is what she'll do. She doesn't.
Funny.
She doesn't do that anymore. But I just like completely felt that she was like, you guys took me to the groomer, and now you're making fun of me. Like, I'll show you who's boss in this house. But yeah, so I like the dogs themselves, like they were, and the I'm blanking on the name, but there was a cat, Tink. There was something about they were just like really cute characters in themselves that I thought that they just like brought something very, very special to the story, and I loved it. We have Mizan saying in the chat regarding dogs about a lot of people have dogs in her community. She has 2 cats and no dogs, so she is very much in line with your thinking when it comes to dogs. Liz has owned 3 cats. DHB says animals are just cool, and Mizan has a cat named Tinkerbell and sometimes calls her Tink. So that is a fun coincidence.
Yes.
I am looking at the time already, and of course it's flying by, and I want to talk more about River's Edge, going back to River's Edge, but also recognizing that it's Valentine's Day coming up, and
Yay.
what better way to spend a day curled up with all of these beautiful love stories that you've written, Nan.
Thank you.
I would love to know, if you wouldn't mind sharing. You don't have to go into everybody, because I know that there are quite a few couples that you have chronicled in River's Edge at this point. But what would some of the folks be up to? What would some of the couples be up to for Valentine's Day? What would be their like go-to date option or go-to celebration?
You know, that's kind of funny because we have the Valentine Wager,
Mm-hmm.
a book about a couple at Valentine's Day. And the thing in River's Edge on Valentine's Day is to go to the Flaherty's Winery, for Irish Brothers Winery, for a Valentine's Day party.
Ooh.
And everybody dresses up. You know, it's not formal, but it's, you know, you're not wearing your jeans. You're wearing a pretty dress and maybe a nice suit. And they have dinner and munchies and dance, and there's a band usually. So really, that was a pretty easy one because I think a good percentage of them would be there, and hopefully Sawyer and Anna would be there because it'll be Sawyer's first chance to meet everybody. So, well, he met some people, but it would be a good chance for him to meet a lot of the other people in town. So, I think probably Mac and Carly would cater, and
oh, yep.
they have a big party at the winery.
I love the sense of community, and the fact that, like, you know, the folks that we see Anna and Sawyer interacting with at different parts of the story, it's just like, oh my gosh, like I remember them from this book, or I remember a moment where they were like having their meet cute or their like fall in love scene. And so it's really cool that all of these characters are like interwoven together. I'm curious, and this is actually a question for our audience members as well. Do you guys have Valentine's Day traditions? Nan, do you, like, is it Valentine's Day? I mean, you're this epic romance writer. Like, is Valentine's Day your favorite day of the year, or is it like what's the scoop when it comes to Valentine's Day celebrations?
But you guys are going to find me to be the most boring romantic in America. We don't really have any Valentine's Day traditions. We usually have, a nice dinner and wine, but we do have a tradition that we've started in the last year that is not Valentine's Day per se, but it's every day, every meal. My husband lights a candle at the table. And so
Aw.
we have our meals by candlelight every meal, and it's really so nice and so
Ooh.
romantic, and it really gives us a chance to slow down and enjoy the food and each other for that time. And so he lights it at breakfast, and if we have lunch and supper every day, we have candlelight. So I'm guessing on Valentine's Day we will have candlelight.
I love it. That is so sweet.
It
I
is.
have been trying to rack my brain of Valentine, like things that are like not like we'll go out to dinner on occasion. I don't even know this year if we will go out to dinner because there's a lunch place that we really like going to, that we like to go to for Fridays for our lunch. It's like, so do we just go there for our, like a Valentine's Day luncheon? Like, what do we got going on? But I will say when I was a kid, my parents were really good about like making Valentine's Day like a family event, and like
That's nice.
being like giving Valentine's, little chocolates, little gifts. And I know, as you know, my birthday is in January. So I went from Christmas to my birthday to Valentine's Day. And so by the end of like February, beginning of March, I'm like, when's the next like round of presents coming? And that's when the drought kicks in.
Yeah.
So we have Liz saying cards once in a while, dinner once in a while, but nothing traditional. That's kind of, I'm lucky if we do cards, Liz, in my world. I like to go looking for cards, but I don't necessarily need to receive them. And I'm also like very like allergic to flowers. So it's like, I don't like, it's like, please don't get me flowers, because that's like, it'll just set my sinuses ablaze. Farmhouse Raider says, we don't have any traditions anymore now that the kids are grown, but we used to celebrate with a heart-shaped cake and little gifts. Ooh, yummy.
Oh, that's nice.
I love a good,
heart-shaped cake.
I love a heart-shaped cake, especially depending on the kind of frosting that it is.
Yes.
Liz says, I remember the kids going to sweetheart dances at school. Aw.
Oh,
We definitely did.
sweetheart dances.
We definitely did like the carnation delivery. Like you paid $1 and then carnations were delivered to people, kind of like in Mean Girls with the Santa delivering candy canes out. But yeah, Valentine's Day has just never been something I was like that good at.
That's either.
So I think that reading about people and their falling in love is like the perfect way to do it.
I agree.
Mizan says, as an elementary school teacher in her past life, so had a party every year. Ooh, that's fun. I do like a good Valentine's Day party with with all of the like
Little cards and
the cards that you give out.
and
Oh man, yeah. And like I don't know, when I was a kid, you would definitely like read these cards and think, oh my gosh, like they picked this just for me, thinking that there's like some cracked code in this little like, Monsters Inc. Valentine that's like, oh, someone declaring their undying love. I don't think that I always knew that when I was making my selections that I was like very meticulous of like, this person gets this one, this person gets that one. Yeah, Mizan says those cards were a big deal. Liz says, at my first Valentine's party in first grade, I had to go home with the measles. Oh
no,
gosh.
that's not good Valentine's gift, Liz.
That is not a good way to start to commemorate the day. And the handmade boxes. Oh yeah, we would do
Handmade boxes.
making like the little mailbox envelopes for them to go. Oh, that's fun. Yeah, I guess in school you really do a lot more than maybe you do as an adult.
Maybe you just kind of get Valentined out in elementary school, and you're
Yeah.
like, yeah,
How many of those like chalk hearts like
my goodness.
that, there were some that were good because they were sweet. They were much sweeter, but like the original ones just tasted like chalk or Tums, but like bad Tums. Cause like I didn't really mind. I didn't mind the taste of Tums, but those candy tarts I could not get behind. So now that we have on Anna and the Walkers, do we have any more walkers left that we are going to be visiting with Nan?
That is all the walkers.
That's all the walkers.
All the walkers.
So who's next to be introduced to the River's Edge romance crew?
Well, I have a book. My next book doesn't come out until September. And it's part of a special release that Thule is doing called Bad Boys of the Rodeo. And Beth Dykman from Dykeman's Orchard is going to be going to Montana to what she thinks is a spa. Not to be. I won't say anything more than that. But anyway, so it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm not sure where we're going from there. But at this point, Beth's story is next, and it'll be coming out September 25th. So I'll have lots more about that on my website and on my social media. So she's
fabulous.
Gonna meet a cowboy, because everybody should meet a cowboy at least once, right?
Yes. And was it strange writing about a place in Montana rather than River's Edge?
It was a little weird. Yes, it was. Fortunately, there's three other writers who are writing this 4-book series, one each week in September. And all of them have written in Marietta before, I believe. Marietta, Montana is the name of the town that this all happens in. And so I had lots of people to help me. And the Marietta books are really big for Thule. So they kind of got their start. Thule got their start with the cowboy books. And so it's kind of fun to be on that train and, learn about a new place. I'm dying to go there now because boy, it sure sounds gorgeous. I've never been to Montana before. So it was fun to write in a different place. It was a fun thing to do.
That's exciting to be able to to venture outside and explore other avenues, but it also makes you excited to come home back to River's Edge, hopefully in the future. Nan, we're talking so much that I spaced that you have a fabulous giveaway that you're doing today, folks.
I do.
Nan, what should the magic word be that they should type into the chat to be entered in to win a signed copy of Made to Love You, a $10 Starbucks gift card, I already forgot what that shell was called. Abalone shell bracelet, and some other swag.
Yeah. The word, I think it should be Valentine, because we are so close to Valentine's Day.
Yes. So folks, please go ahead and type in the word Valentine into the chat. Make sure that you're logged into Google or YouTube to be entered in. I will give us a little bit more time since I totally spaced on on the fact.
I feel terrible.
I know. I was just so caught up in just how much I enjoyed Anna and Sawyer's romance, and also trying to rack my brain and you'll have to forgive me, man, because I was trying to figure out the bike shop owners. There seem to be 3 of them.
Yeah, the Conrad brothers.
Are they in a book yet? Okay.
They're in this. This is their first book.
Okay. All right.
The first one they appear in.
Because I really liked them, and I liked how quick on the uptake they were about the romantic chemistry between Anna and Sawyer.
Yeah, he figured that out real fast, didn't he?
Yeah. I was like, when he, I think, was it Derek? Derek called for Anna to because she's trying to sneak out
and he calls her name.
Yeah. And totally blows her cover. And she's like, oh, which is great. And it's just another thing of the small towns of these are characters that yes, we're introduced to them for the first time, but here I am the way that they were acting with each other. It's oh no, this is somebody that I must have known for books and books and just forgot what their name was or something along those lines.
They just happened along.
They were great. They fit in really, really well. So hopefully we'll get to see River's Edge at another point in time. So beyond, so you have your release in September, Nan. That's a based on your like past release schedule. It seems like you may be getting a little bit of like a reprieve, or does it feel like a reprieve? Because you seem to always have like a book that's like coming out like very, very rapidly.
It averaged about 3 books a year, and this will be 2 books in 2020, which is okay, because I'm also an editor.
Yes,
that's my day job, and so it is a little bit of a reprieve, and I'm glad for it. I will still be promoting, all through the summer, the River's Edge books that are out, and I think it's the end of the 1st of March. I have a little thing with Fresh Fiction that we're doing with my Women of Willow Bay books, which is an indie series that came before River's Edge, and it's seasoned romance, a little spicier than River's Edge, but fun for women over 40 who get a second chance at love. And so I thought maybe I would throw a pitch in for that here.
No, yeah.
That's happening. I think it's the 4th through the 10th or something. I'll have to look it up. But they're fun books, and like I said, a little spicier. But the 4 women are very connected, and they're friends with each other, and all men are, handsome. It was a fun series to write. I really enjoyed it because I kind of really related to the women because they were closer to my age. So it was nice to write about women who had a life before this, so it was fun. I really enjoyed it.
Oh, I love, especially like in the cozy genre, being able to read about folks that they're not like fresh face and naive, like they know what's going on in the world. And so I think that always lends itself to relatability, but also just like a fresh perspective. So that's exciting. Folks know that they can visit your website, nanreinhardt.com.
Yes.
You're found Nan Reinhardt everywhere on social media.
Absolutely everywhere. I'm Nan Reinhardt on Blue Sky and Threads and Instagram, and Facebook is Nan Reinhardt author. So I am me everywhere I am.
You're everywhere. You are. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm occasionally on Threads. I haven't figured out Blue Sky. I'm there, but I'm not there. There's so much going on that we have to navigate. So props.
So much. You are right.
Props to you for going for being able to do it all. Any other events coming up, online, virtual, that you want to tell folks before I draw our giveaway winner?
I'm trying to find the information about this Fresh Fiction. It's really cool. It's February 17th to March 2nd.
Ooh, perfect. So that is coming right next week.
Right
kicks
up.
off.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So that for that time period, there'll be a little contest you can enter, and what I'm giving away for that as a giveaway is the complete set in print, four signed books.
Ooh, nice. So that's a good giveaway prize.
The Women of Willow Bay, and you can go to my website nanreinhardt.com, and there's a link to the Women of Willow Bay if you're curious or interested, including links where you can get them. But for the February 17th through March 5th, I think I say the 5th. I think so. Anyway,
perfect.
Yeah, to March 2nd. I'm sorry, February 17th to March 2nd. There'll be a contest going where you can win the whole set of books. So.
Excellent. We love a good contest. We love a good prize, much like we love the fabulous giveaway that you're doing this afternoon with us here, Nan.
Nice. Segues there.
Oh, thank you. I was proud. Just came to me. Our giveaway winner with a signed copy of Made to Love You, a Starbucks gift card, a bracelet, and some additional reader swag is the wonderful Mizan. Mizan, congratulations. Mizan, if you could kick your mailing address to the top of my inbox, I'd really appreciate it. Giveaways at itsbookishtime.com. Congratulations. And congratulations to you, Nan, on just like another fabulous book. I swear, like these just, I can't tell you enough, like how much I loved Anna and Sawyer. I love River's Edge. I love all your books, but there was something about this one that I was just like, you just nailed it. Trixie, she sprinkled some magic on it with her cute little paws. Oh, precious little thing. Folks, the Walkers of River's Edge series, 4 books, Made to Love You is book 4. Annabelle Walker's story is available now wherever you buy your books. Nan, it's always a thrill chatting with you. Thank you for sharing about Valentine's Day traditions and what folks in River's Edge will be up to. To our wonderful audience members who joined us live, very much appreciate you being here. Farmhouse Reader actually is saying, Nan, that Mizan is very lucky. Nan has the best giveaways. She is so generous. So your generosity does not go unnoticed. We very much appreciate you spending your time with us and also sharing your wonderful work. And Hillary is chiming in with a hi. Hi, Hillary. Thanks so much for being here. And we will be back with a new episode of The Bookish Hour, I believe, next week. And I am blanking on what day it's going to be. I think that'll be February 19th, if I am doing my math right. But you guys know to find us at itsbookishtime.com. You can see our calendar, or you could sign up for our mailing list to receive episode notifications. Mizan says that she is so happy, Nan, and it's made her day. So that's always wonderful.
That's wonderful, Mizan.
We love making people's days. And we love being here with you guys. So thank you so much. And when we connect next time with a wonderful guest here on our show, we look forward to being with you guys then. So everyone have a wonderful, wonderful Valentine's Day. Wishing you the very best, wishing you good health. I'll make sure to pass on to JC that you're all thinking of him. And until we meet again, stay bookish. Bye, everybody.